right.
Yo, quick question.
Yeah.
Are you cut?
What do you mean?
Are you cut?
Yeah.
What are you not fucking? You're not Jewish.
Yeah, but I'm halal.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ.
All right, man. What's new?
What do I talk about an opener? What's new?
These nuts. Yo,
New
Stephen
Year?
Hawking's was in Epstein's list.
I saw that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, of all people. I mean, that was interesting. Did you see the? I haven't actually. I want to take the time to actually go through like someone doing a video because, bro, I like to read, but I'm not going through like 800 pages of court documents.
You don't have to. You could just Google. That's what I did. I said I Googled like who is on Epstein's list, and it just has a bunch.
Yeah,
of people.
but it's not just who's on Epstein's list. It's like context matters. Is it like
No,
you talked about
it's
him? Is it
literally
like blah blah? So like it does matter.
No, it's
Because Trump's on his list too. Doesn't mean that he's fucking kids. But like, in what context was he on? Was he in? Because it's not on his. It's not. There's no Epstein's list. You got to understand. This was a trial between Ghislaine Maxwell, which was one of Epstein's associates, and one of the people who was suing her for like sexual harassment and all that stuff. So that when that went to trial, they had to talk about like how it happened, blah blah. And during that trial, these things came up.
Yeah,
where
but
like
if
they
you're,
mentioned
if
these
you're
people.
somewhat associated with this guy, I mean, it's a little bit iffy.
So like,
You know what I mean?
for example, with the Hawking thing, for example, you realize that Epstein actually he was interested. I don't know whether he was smart or not about
He's
it.
a man
but,
of science.
Huh?
He invested into science.
Yeah. So like he hosted conferences at his island.
Yeah. Conferences with a bunch of minors.
Well, I don't know. You don't know either.
I mean, I was on the list, son.
Well, maybe you do know then.
Doug. I mean, it's fucked up. I wouldn't want to be associated. Like, I think
No, for
everybody
sure.
kind of
For
knew.
sure. Like Kimmel was on his fucking list.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Jimmy
It's like,
Kimmel.
why?
Jimmy Kid Kimmel.
Jimmy Kid Kimmel. That's a good one. Jimmy Kid Kimmel.
Jesus.
Jimmy Kid Kimmel. That's
So stuff like that, you're like,
Great.
okay, like what the fuck is that all about, right?
You want to turn that one a little bit this way?
Yours?
Yeah. No, the other way, my friend. There you go. A little bit more. Yeah, perfect. But yeah, that's unfortunate, man. Jimmy was one of us before this. You know what I mean?
One of us?
Yeah,
Bro,
he was
we're not on the same level as Jimmy.
Jimmy was
What?
one of us.
What are you talking about?
He was a down to earth type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
As a fucking talk show host, we're just fucking two dudes in an apartment.
He was one of us. And now,
Oh, shit.
now he's a kid fucker, man.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
over.
Jesus.
It's over.
I saw, it was, yeah, that whole thing was interesting because I saw Aaron Rodgers was calling him out on it before the list got released. And he's like, yo, watch. Jimmy Kimmel's going to be on that fucking list. And then Kimmel clapped back. Someone's going, no, blah, blah, blah. And then the thing comes out. You're like, fuck.
Shut up, Jimmy.
Basically.
Your boy was on that list.
Which one?
Pope Francis the Fourth.
Was he?
Yeah, Doug.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Look that up. That one's crazy.
Look it up. One of the popes was.
One of the popes. I don't think because Pope Francis he came into the later after Epstein died, right?
Yeah, that's what she said. That's what the little kid said. How dare you follow that religion anymore? Mom, it's over. The Pope was in there.
But there's like other problems with that religion. It's not just forget about Epstein. Yeah, I don't see anything about Pope on Epstein's list. I feel like you're talking a lot of shit there. Like the big names there: Clinton, Hawking, Prince Andrew.
To be fair, the Pope has his own list.
Well, that's what I mean. They got
Right,
other.
he's
They got
got a
other.
Pope-
They got other stuff there.
I mean, if you're in the Vatican, I mean that's another Epstein's island right
That's
there.
a whole other situation.
That's Epstein City right there.
Jesus. You got other. There's other problems there, man. You don't need. This is not even required. Like Epstein's list or whatever.
Do you think Lakers are on their downfall or what? I think it's over for LeBron. I don't think he's gonna get any more chips.
He's just no. He's just got to coast. Watch his body. Watch his injuries.
And then what
Well,
happens?
he wants to wait for Bronny.
Bronny is done, bro. What are you talking
Bronny's
about?
done. Bronny's playing again, bro. He's averaging 2 and 2.
Two of these nuts in your mouth, more like it. 2 and 2.
It's so
over.
weird because like when he first came back, because he was cardiac arrest, whatever. He was,
Yeah.
couldn't play. When he got cleared, and then when he finally played again, there was so much hype
Mm.
on Bronny coming back,
Yeah.
and the videos, the highlights of like his team, like the Trojans, are generating tons of views.
Yeah.
But
It's not him.
it's not him.
Yeah.
It's like they'll focus on when he comes on off the bench, but it's like 2 baskets.
But to be fair, he's coming off the bench because they don't know how.
Well,
how
for
much
sure,
his
dude.
heart-
We don't want to
yeah.
like fucking. Although he was never, like, I don't want to say never starting, but he was not like their best guy.
No, he was. He was never the best guy ever.
He wasn't like
He
a
was-
5-star recruit.
Like, this is the thing. Behind closed doors, it's known that he's gonna be like a. If he gets heavy LeBron influence, he's gonna be a late first round draft pick, if not second round
Yeah,
draft pick.
yeah.
Right? He's not like
No.
like he's not even as like who a young Russell Westbrook would fuck up
Well,
Ronnie.
dude, Russell Westbrook was like pretty sure like a top pick.
A Brandon Jennings who disappeared in the NBA would destroy Bronny.
Yeah.
Like, this kid is not that special.
No, he's not. But
it's just
LeBron's just trying to make history, and I get it. Like first father son to ever play together, blah blah. That'd be kind of crazy. Sure.
it would be, but like, at the same time, it's like, how good is he? Like, this is like purely political move. If he gets drafted.
It is. And no, I think what's interesting about this, no one's doubting this. Like, no one's doubting that he's a nepo baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's disputing that. It's just, can LeBron stay healthy long enough for Bronny to be drafted, and can Bronny play enough, like good enough to be at an NBA level? And like, not great, but like even scrub level.
How
Like,
much?
Just be scrub level.
What's your expectation though? Like, I just wanted to see one highlight reel with them together. Like,
Yeah.
an alley-oop to your
Exactly.
father.
100%.
That's
it.
Like,
That's
let's
it.
just retire after
Yeah.
that, call it a
Exactly.
day.
Exactly.
Go have 3 more cardiac arrests.
That would,
Call it a life.
that would be the expectation, and I wouldn't be surprised if, as soon as LeBron retires, Bronny just like rides the fucking minimum
Rides a magic pony.
minimum
dog.
league contract for a little bit, and just like
Why?
you know what I mean?
Like,
But it's good money. It is good
LeBron
money.
has the kind of money that Bronny doesn't need to do a thing.
Well, the lifestyle is cool. If you're 20, 21, playing in the NBA is pretty good. It's a pretty good life. Like, you get paid a decent amount of money to play a fucking game that like you shoot a ball on a fucking hoop. You get paid like $1 million.
I disagree because
You disagree.
No, because I've looked into their scheduling and it's like it's not fun anymore. It's like work.
Well, it is work.
No, but this is what people don't understand.
It's like work.
It's like-
it is work.
People say, oh, if you do what you love, then you're not really working.
You never work
Yeah,
a day in your life.
okay. I love to bust nuts, but if I'm busting 10 nuts a day, that's work.
That's called porn, my boy.
No, but you get what I'm
I
saying.
get what you're saying, sure.
It's beyond enjoyment.
But you gotta understand, he's doing it for free right now already. So if he gets paid for it, that's a bonus.
Yeah, but he's not doing the fucking 3 a days and.
But okay, understand this. What else is he gonna do, man? You're talking as if this guy's like some gifted scholar, or like,
chill on the fucking boardwalk, get your dick sucked by some white chicks.
you know
bro.
what I mean?
do
Like,
you
what do you do? You want to like waste away and like fucking just live off his dad's like money,
Yeah.
and then you fucking become a drug addict. You see him on Sunset Boulevard next
Hunter
to
Biden.
Jesus,
Let's
dude.
go, son.
That's like the worst case scenario. Like you're
The best case scenario is if Trump ran again and he took Hunter Biden as a vice president. That'd be premium. And then you know what? Tom Hanks' kid needs to be like attorney of defense.
Jesus.
Have you ever seen this guy?
Colin Hanks?
Yeah.
What about him?
You've never seen this guy?
I've seen him. I've seen him act. I've seen him in movies. Tom Hanks' son?
Kid.
His son.
Kid, yeah.
His oldest son.
I don't know. One of them that speaks fucking Jamaican accent.
Oh,
English.
no, different. Because one of his sons looks exactly like him,
Mm.
and he's an actor. Like, he's whatever. His name's Colin.
This guy, he's like
His other one?
He's Vanilla Ice, but blacker. Like, yo, look this up, please. Look this up, please. I'm telling you, he's bumbaclat. He is a national treasure.
Fucking Chet.
Chet Hanks.
Fucking Chet.
What a fucking
I'm gonna
hero.
play the video, and I'm gonna bring it up to them.
Big up the whole island, massive. It's your boy Chetana, coming straight from the Golden Globes, you want saying? Me see me father Tom Hanks presenting in a what soon forward come. Big up, tune in.
National treasure.
Patois.
National treasure, this guy. He made music videos. He's Hunter Biden. If Hunter Biden put his act together, drop the fucking crack and meth, whatever the fuck he's doing.
Bro, what's wrong with crack and meth?
A lot. I mean, for one, it's degenerative.
I was kidding, man, bro. What's wrong with crack and meth?
says the guy with a fucking nose cavity that can take in a kilo.
No, that's for blow, my boy.
Or anything.
That's for blow.
Listen to me. That thing's a Hoover. Okay?
Yeah, this thing will have better pickup than your fucking vacuum outside.
Dog, I've been waiting for a vacuum the size of your nose for a long time. Oh, man. So, what else is new, man?
New year, new us. What do we got? 2024.
You know, I was looking at this old video of that guy, something
That
crass, from the Global Economic Forum.
Okay.
And
The World Economic
The
Forum.
World Economic Forum,
Okay,
my
no,
bad.
All good.
And he was saying, what if?
What if?
Whenever these motherfuckers in charge, they start with, just imagine.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, we're in for some shit here.
He's like, just imagine that we're in a world where there's a mass hack on all tech. Right? So your bank info, your online banking,
credit
your
cards,
credit
yeah,
card,
yeah, yeah.
everything.
Okay.
Cell phones.
Yeah, right.
Everything gets hacked.
Okay.
And puts you in a position where when you think back of 2020, COVID, that was a small segment of time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying we should be more grateful that hasn't happened yet, and we should start preparing for something like that to happen. Have you seen this?
No.
Have you seen this?
No.
Look him up. What's his name? Crass?
I don't know.
What the fuck is his name? Robert Crass, I think.
Jesus.
Hey, Hector, you want
Let me turn off my AA meeting reminders.
Jesus Christ, man.
Crass?
Is it Robert Crass or is it somebody else?
Robert Crass?
You remember Daniel, the professor? Apparently he's a fucking banger of a fucking guitarist.
No way. I can see that.
Bro, a banger of a... They had like a Christmas fucking ball. And he was... I'll show you the video after. Banger.
Yeah, I believe it.
It reminds me of a old Victor.
Klaus Schwab?
Yeah.
Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus.
Crass. Klaus. All right, so what am I looking up, Klaus?
Klaus warning of what was it? Mass hacking to the world or something.
Okay.
Mass technological hacking to the world. It's some scary shit. This guy, you know, when you hear shit like this, you're like, damn, bro, what are they planning? Is some another Wuhan or
A cyber attack with COVID-like characteristics.
oof?
All right.
What does that even mean? COVID-like characteristics? Dog, milk already went up to $8. If it doubles up again, I might just drop milk out of my life.
Kids, okay.
No more double doubles for me.
Come on. Is there a fucking video? Just a fucking article. There's like articles about this, but there's no video. You saw a video, you said?
Straight up video of this guy being like, yo, you know, what the fuck? He's straight up video saying like, you guys should be grateful.
Yeah, I got the TikTok. Ugh, I don't have TikTok. Can't open this shit.
Oh, how dare you? Send it to me. I'll open it.
Yeah. Here.
Do-do-do, ro-ro-ro.
Here.
Ro-ro-ro-ro-ro-ro.
Sent it.
Somewhere.
I get the whole aspect of, just before we get into what the guy said, I get the whole aspect of using the fucking air raid alarm as like, oh my god, my big here. I'm like, bro, can we fucking like turn it down a bit so I can fucking hear this guy? Because he already doesn't speak great English. He's like fucking heavy ass German accent.
It's scary whenever a German guy gives some shit like that. You're like, you get that PTSD.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Hitler.
yeah. They're trying to make it worse with that fucking air raid sign. God damn, it's annoying. Yeah, damn.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I get what he's saying though. Like after hearing that, I kind of understand the point he's trying to make. Yeah, and I guess it is true. I mean, we've seen these things already, like cyber attacks bringing down massive corpse like to its knees. That's wild, because we don't see any of this stuff. Like they're not physical things, you know what I mean? So like when we're just so used to these things working, and we forget the influence that they have. We're talking about like social media. We're talking about your fucking communications. Like that's the biggest one. Shit, even like utilities, man. Like utilities, like natural gas and electric, they're technically on. Like you can if you were to hack in, you could shut shit down.
Yeah.
That's why when I work with utilities on a daily basis, and their security is actually kind of fucking nuts. They have like tiered levels and layers of security where like even within a company, you can't access everything that you want. Like certain departments are segmented and separated, insulated. So
Hydro was like
to
this.
prevent things like this from happening.
So whenever I had to switch up like transformers and stuff, I had to call in.
There you go. See,
there'd be automated lock boxes that would only open if I had to if I called in.
Yeah.
And sometimes the guy that was in charge of that was on lunch or something, so I'd have to wait like hours.
Shit.
And if I try to open it myself, death.
Death.
Right? You can't. I mean, you're talking about like 10,000 kilojoules
Yeah.
of fucking current.
Yeah.
You are fried, my guy. Have you ever seen a guy like in like Uzbekistan climb up one of the fucking electric poles and like hit one of the like a
No.
A cord?
No.
freeze? Like he touches it
And he gets
freeze
flung.
and then
He gets flung.
fuck flung. Just drops.
Oh, it doesn't get flung.
Drops down.
Damn.
And like he's dead before he touches the ground.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
already dead.
Yeah.
Like he's fried.
I've seen some nasty fucking electrical videos, like some crazy shit from like substations and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when guys are switching out like the massive like fuses, or like when they're doing transformer work, and
Yeah.
it's like live, and it's fucking crazy, man. The amount of like power that's in there.
Yeah.
It's actually like for most people, it's unfathomable. Like they don't understand quite how much is in that thing, you know, and working through it. Like but you've seen that firsthand, so that's crazy. But yeah,
I had a few guys die while I was working there. Yeah, bro. I told you this before. I think it's even on the podcast from like when we first started like
damn.
doing a thing. In that period of time that I was there was like 7 guys that died.
7?
Not in the Lower Mainland, but in BC. Because when you think of BC
Well, yeah,
hydro,
well, you can
you're
look up-
thinking of like here. You're not thinking of like Cowichan Valley,
Yeah.
right? Like you're not thinking about that shit. But it's like people die, bro. Like these guys die. They don't ground themselves properly.
Yeah,
They don't think about it. They work in the rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was watching Singles Inferno.
No.
Man, between the girls and the guys, like if you could make a plastic Chinese factory.
Jesus.
I'm telling you, bro. These people.
It's Korea, bro. They love that
if,
shit.
If you take their faces and rub it together, you'll get an electrical current. That's how plastic they are.
Jesus.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Like when you think of masculinity, you're not thinking about these guys. I promise you.
Which one was better? Season 1, season 2?
I watched season 3.
It's 3 now?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, maybe I watched 2. I don't remember. I watched one of those, like a few of the episodes with Brian back when it came out. For Brian and Vince. I think we were in LA or something. I forgot the circumstances, but like we watched it like a couple episodes together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
My problem is like just knowing the fact that these girls are going after all these different guys, because like every girl goes after every guy.
that's the point of the
But my thing is like in my head, if I know that the girl I'm going for is going for 5 other guys, I'm not interested in anybody.
So here's something. You've all seen the Singles Inferno, but you've heard of like the other ones, like Love Island, fucking Bachelor, whatever. How do you think you would do on a dating show in general? Like if
am I trying to actually like am I like sincerely trying to wife these
I don't
girls
know.
up?
So you have to consider that for yourself. Like, are you actually gonna, like you said, be sincere and try and find love, or are you gonna try and play the game and like make a name for yourself while you're on the show, or are you just trying to have fun? Like, who knows? There's a lot of ways you can play this out.
Yeah.
And that's how you answer this question will kind of determine what you decide.
Since I've watched all 3 seasons,
Yeah.
the quality of like genuine love that happens is minimal. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist in those shows. It's all show. It's none of it is real. So if you're going in there just to fuck around and be famous, then 100%.
No, but how are you playing it out? What are you doing? Are you Armand as you are right now, or are you
I'd be like Trent
are you
Armand.
making a character? Jesus.
Trent Armand just like gaslighting everybody and, you know, making enemies.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? My people versus your people type shit. Like
Jesus.
the thing is, there's really no there's no masculine men on any of these shows. Like when you go to Asia,
Yeah.
I mean you've been there, but I've been in those circles. There's no real masculine men. Like there's no such a thing. It doesn't exist. Even if you see the most masculine guy, he's not really that masculine. Like in comparison to like a Middle Eastern guy, it's totally different kind of game, right? They're not like even the masculine guys are like soft as fuck. Like it's a different thing, right? It's
Interesting how you describe that, because I feel that how you define masculinity over the ages across cultures will determine what you view as masculine. So like Japanese, even you go like way back, like a lot of their culture now has been, and I'm talking for Japanese, not Koreans, but a lot of their culture now has been maintained throughout like hundreds of years. Like the way that they are now, right now, like modern age and shit, like, it's a bit fucking weird, fine. But their whole thing of, you know, being proper, you know, following tradition, acting a certain way, all that kind of stuff has been maintained since like the fucking Edo period. You know what I mean? And in that time, they would look at certain other cultures and and say like, oh, barbarians. There's a reason why they're an isolationist country, right? Because they don't want to associate with the they didn't even want to let in people for the longest time, let alone mixing with them.
what do you consider masculinity?
Oh, that's a very interesting question.
Give me the short version.
I would say masculinity involves a strong strength. Strength is a big one for sure. So strength, rational thought. And when I mean strength, I don't just mean like physical strength. I mean like mental strength too. I think that's a really, I think that's actually probably the biggest one. Mental strength, rational thought, decision making. Those are kind of I would say top three or whatever.
Okay. How I grew up in the Middle East, and, men have two aspects. Masculinity has two aspects. Logic, reason, and strict love is the gentle side of masculinity.
Yeah.
And the harsh side of masculinity is barbarian beasts. Like, I come to your village, I conquer, rape everybody, and fucking kill everybody.
So that's the interesting thing about comparing the Japanese masculinity versus what you just mentioned.
That's it. That's the interesting part. Is like they lack that.
No,
they do. Like among Koreans, there's no such a thing as. I had a very hard time roaming in those circles when I first started hanging out with these people. And by these people I mean like Koreans.
Yeah.
And even Chinese, like they're among them, there is much more fluidity among like opposite sex friendships and shit along this line, which is much more composed in a friendly, innocent context versus in a Middle Eastern route, right? In Middle Eastern route, if a girl has 25 guy friends that she is talking to on a daily basis, she's known as a whore, right? In a Korean culture, she's just known as a regular chick, right? So coming into a baseline where you have to switch from the Middle Eastern aspect of that to a Korean aspect, as a Middle Eastern man, it's a big leap.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand that the jealousy or the worry that you get is not anything that you have to actually worry about because the environment that you grew up in is a bunch of barbarians.
Yeah.
Right? You're a bunch of savages, right? In Iran, I mean, if you walk down the street, you might see a couple people get stabbed, right? You walk down the street in Korea, that doesn't exist, right? It's a different scheme, right? And it's a different feel. If you're going based on the fact of the most masculine, the most savages, who is a savage, I would not say I'm going to find many savages in China, Japan, and Korea. I'd say I find it in the desert glooms of Saudi Arabia where they sacrifice people to land their planes. It's a different thing. So that's what I say is like when I see these shows, right? Yeah, these guys are propped. Don't get me wrong. They're all actors and actresses. But at the same time, it's like, is that true masculinity? I don't know. Like, I don't really see that as a true masculinity. Like, when I see a guy in Iran and he's a savage, he's 6'4", 300 pounds, takes sauce up the ass, and he's a savage, he eats goats raw, I'm like, man, I don't want to fuck with that guy. But I've never seen a guy in Korea or Japan or some shit where I'm like, fuck, man, like he strikes fear in my heart. Never happened. It doesn't happen. They just don't have that, And that might be, maybe people see that as racist or something, but I don't. There's no fear that they strike, man. It's like they're all fucking Botoxed up. Like how, you know what I'm saying? Like how are you gonna strike fear in my heart if you got Botox on your face? You got tattooed on eyebrows? Come on, dog.
Well, you got to remember like
What are we doing here?
who's being selected for these shows. It's on purpose, right?
It's all pretty boys.
It's on purpose. Yeah, it is because like they're trying to market to an audience that is actually going to consume the show.
Yeah.
And like share it with their friends.
Yeah.
And they're like, which types of people normally run in these demographics? Like girls are the main. Honestly, girls are the fucking main one.
Yeah.
Like it's not many guys that do overall in the demo. No. So it's like they're gonna cater to that. And
Yeah.
how do you do that best? Like in just aesthetics, softness, whatever, keeping it fun, keeping it like all that. And that's what.
I'll give you a
they'll cater
perspective.
to. Like even the challenges they do, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the challenges
Bullshit.
are fucking like catered toward. It's like.
Yeah.
What the,
Yeah.
like I remember one episode I watched and like what was it, the second season? They were like wrestling or some shit, but it wasn't like real wrestling. It was like some like whack shit.
Yeah.
Like they were just like having fun almost. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. There was a big shock for me when I started hanging out, when I started befriending a lot of Asians, Asian men. And the interesting part was I've never heard of a medical esthetician place or a dermatologist office being so filled up with Japanese, Chinese, and Korean men.
Really?
Like these guys, like some of my friends, I'm not gonna name any names, but they get like fillers in their jaw so their jaw looks wider.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Like
It's wild.
my guy, if your jaw is not wide enough, that's it. Like there's no
Look up my homie Zac Efron. You know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, but that's like
so
he's
imagine like you see me and I disappear for like a month
come back.
and I get the fucking Zac Efron treatment
To be fair,
or like the Matt Rife treatment.
Hector, you are somewhat masculine, but I'm gonna tell you, like, if you did roids, you would look significantly different. I'm not talking about muscle mass.
No, I know. I would
talking
get
about your facial features.
a moon face, man, probably.
No. You wouldn't. Your bone structure would change. So I have a cousin that looks almost identical to me. Okay, and he never did sauce in his life.
Virtually identical.
Like virtually same height,
Virtually identical.
but like not the same build.
Yeah.
He's a little bit skinnier guy. But if I showed you face to face when we were 10 years old, same guy, right? I look like I'm his older father now. You know what I mean? Just different jaw size, shoulder, like everything is just different, right? Hand size, it's like everything is different. And that's what I'm saying. It's like that's not even something that's of importance in that side of the world.
I get that, yeah.
Nobody looks at a savage in that side of the world and they're like, that's handsome. They look at like, I don't know, fucking, who are the guys? who give me a fucking name of a boy pop band in Korea.
Like BTS.
BTS. They think that's handsome, right? To me, those guys look very feminine, if anything.
Yeah.
If those guys came to jail with
Well,
me, they
you
would
got
get
to
fucked.
understand that the people who find them very attractive, like who are their main audience? It's like young girls, right?
Not even young girls. I'd say I've
older
seen
girls.
girls.
Older girls. Okay,
I've seen 35-year-olds.
Yeah, and I've seen that too, but I think the dynamic it's different because, from what I've seen, anyways, older women who find BTS guys attractive, like they're fangirling on them or like they're crushing them or whatever you want to call
Right.
it, they're almost looking at them as like a caricature, but the moment that they were to ever meet these people in person, after like the initial shock of like, oh my god, I'm meeting these people in real life, like that fades because they're not actually attracted like sexually to these guys. They're looking at them as like an object, as like a thing, as like they put them on a pedestal because they're super fucking famous, whatever. But it's not like they're actually, you know what I mean? Like it's a different kind of attraction, is what I'm trying to say.
I think women actually base a lot of attraction on status.
There's that
among
sure.
all women.
Sure.
My own fucking mother included.
I know that's everybody for sure. Like
There's
that's not.
I
don't think anybody's exempt from that.
Singer called Daryush. Daryush is like really famous.
Yeah.
He was actually for a little bit. He was addicted to teriyaki, which is an opiate in Iran. And if you look at him, he just looks like a homeless guy, right?
Yeah.
But like 10 years ago, if I asked my mom if he's handsome, mom would be like, "Fuck yeah," and I'd be like, "Why?" Like, look at his voice. Look at his status. It's like, what does that have to do with attraction? Like, I never look at a girl. I'm like, what's her status?
Well, it's different for girls and for guys.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like that's the thing is the status makes the attraction because same with men. We want girls that other guys also want, but that we only have access to. With women, it's that shit's multiplied by millions, right? If you can get the guy from BTS and nobody else can, think about what that does to you and your confidence, right? Men don't think like this as much, but we do in a certain aspect, right? You got a girl now, right? One of the reasons you like her is because she's not accessible to other guys, right? And now, if she was, would you be as attracted to her?
Oh, that's a question.
That's a
That's
real
like
fucking
rhetorical
question.
questions. Well, yeah, no.
Exactly. But imagine that feeling like 10,000 multiply factor to the point where it's like that's the premium thing you care about, right? There's ugly guys in Hollywood that bang the hottest girls in the world, right? And it's not because they're good looking or they got good dick or anything. It's status.
Yeah, but that's you gotta understand. Like that's an extreme example of something that is not going to be found in the general space. Most people are normal. Most people are boring.
Yeah,
like,
but
you know
that's
what I mean?
why girls are like this. Is like, who is your celebrity? Have you ever talked to a girl like this?
Yeah.
Who's your celebrity crush? And she's like, oh, it's I don't know, Ben Affleck. And you're like, what the fuck? Why are you saying this, right? And she's like, babe, that's just a celebrity.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. Like, oh, she's basically telling you it's okay that I have a crush on this guy even though I'm with you, because the chances of me being with him is slim. But if she had the chance of being with that guy, you're not a thought. That's the issue.
Maybe. There's been people in that situation that have actually been... Because you prop up an idea in your head. And it's one thing to prop up the idea in your head, and it's another thing to actually act on it when it's in front of you. Most people in situations bitch out. Because it's just like... the idea was enticing. Like it was all... But as soon as it's in front of them, it's like, no. Because they're attracted to these idea of celebrities having no idea what they're actually like. They could be fucking disgusting motherfuckers, or they could be assholes. Like, who knows? Like, you don't know these people. You really don't. You know what they look like, and you know the movies that they've been in, the characters. That's the other thing too with actors. Like you're attracted to what they've portrayed on film, but they might be completely different in person. Like nothing to do. Like you might be attracted to Gerard Butler because he plays masculine men in his movies.
Right.
Fucking White House Down or whatever, like London Has Fallen, all these things like Plane, all these movies that he's like shooting up and he's like whatever, he's looking really cool. But in person, he's not a fucking superhero.
If you go
neither
down,
is like Keanu, like none of these guys are, you know what I mean? So it's like the idea is much more attractive than the reality. And I think what really happens here is once they see the reality, it's like the curtain is unveiled. Like it all comes crashing down. They realize that the fantasy that they had of these people in their head is not real. And when that happens, when the fantasy dies, so does a big part of their attraction to these people.
but can you make the argument that because there's a fantasy, no woman really has true loyalty?
No. Now you're reaching.
Now, this is a conversation I had with Shab a couple days ago.
Oh, what a surprise.
And Shab is me from 5-6 years ago when I had no faith no faith in women at all, right? And it makes sense why. I sincerely believe that if you're trying to be in a relationship, you have to come to the realization that you're not the best that your woman can get.
Right.
And you have to...
Can you not shake the table, please?
You have to come to the realization that there's no such a thing as like true loyalty, right? Like absolute loyalty, there's none. It doesn't exist anymore. Not in this life because of social media, because she has so much access to other things. Any girl you are with, she either had sex with other guys, she either had those emotions with other guys, or she had fantasies about other guys. There's no purity anymore. There's no true purity of like, to
that definition, there never was. And I think guys looking for that are kind of, they're in a fucking...
You're
in fantasy land.
There was.
Even in our parents' time, there wasn't, man.
No, not in our parents' time. I'm talking about like, what I'm talking about is like Kingdom of Heaven time.
Jesus, dude. Even Kingdom of Heaven time, man. It fucking... There's so much to unpack here. I don't know where to begin. Kingdom of Heaven time.
Let me explain so there's less.
Do you know when that was? That was Crusades.
Yeah, let me explain
Sure.
to when this was. Now, even in Kingdom of Heaven time, there could have been there could have been the aspect of no true loyalty, because obviously if there's a villager woman who's looking at a prince, she has a fantasy of this said prince. Right? There could be, sure. Right? But there's also that aspect where the less she sees, the less she knows, the less chances you have of infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the whole reason under why there's the hijab under Quran. They say the less your woman sees, the less she thinks, and the less you have to worry about. That's the whole like idea of promiscuity under the Quran. Is if she does not see infidelity, if she does not see fantasy, then if you are all she sees, then you are her fantasy. Right? Do I agree with that? No. But if we're talking about like the hand in hand of the opposites, where you have like you're dating a stripper and you have all these insecurities, and then or you're dating like a hijab woman where you have none. Right? You have all control versus no control. Right? Where do you want to sit? There's no in between.
Yeah, well, I'm not picking either of these. This is a ridiculous question. I see what you're trying to do, something that I'm not going to play into. Like you're trying to make a point by forcing me into a place that I never agreed to be.
Though, right?
I understand the point you're trying to make. I don't agree with it. I understand the logic behind it, but yeah, I see what you're trying to do.
You have to be comfortable. I think in the Western worlds, you have to be comfortable with the fact of treading in waters of insecurity, and you have to. Once you're comfortable with that, you can date anybody, right? There's tons of guys that I've seen that are dating straight up escorts, and I'm like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
Right? Adam 22, for example.
Yeah.
How are you letting your girl fuck another guy? But he doesn't look at her as like oh, if she fucks another guy, she's no longer mine.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas some guys, it's like, oh, if she's not a virgin, she's no longer mine.
Yeah. Yeah, you have both of those people.
Where do you draw the line for yourself? It's a tough line to walk, man.
No, I don't say that. Where do you draw the line? It's like
I think for you, it's worse than me because you're religious.
It's having certain boundaries, right? Like I don't look down on people. Like, you already brought this up, like sex workers, the modern day, the OnlyFans, the Instagram models, whatever. I don't really look down on any of them. Do I think their future is limited? Yeah, but that's not my path to walk. Like they got to walk their own path. I'm not there to do it for them. But when it comes to dating, like I have certain boundaries as to like who I associate myself with, and especially in a dating context.
Would you let your girl talk to her ex?
No, because I'm a very demanding lover. I ask a lot of the person that I'm with, but I never ask anything that I wouldn't be willing to give up myself. And so when it comes to that question, the answer is yes, no. I don't want you to talk to your ex because I also won't be talking to my ex. I think it'd be very hypocritical and it'd be a very weird dynamic if I said you couldn't, but I
could.
I could. Because I'm now creating an insecurity for you, and I'm telling you that you can't do the same thing for me, and then it creates a really, really fucked up dynamic where like I'm just, especially if like I'm throwing that in your face, like, oh yeah, I was talking to Max the other day, blah, 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 this and that. She's going like, even if she doesn't voice it, there's thoughts going in there. She's like, well, what the fuck? Is he like, does he want her back? Blah, blah, this and this and that. So that's a very, I would say negative, and that's a very bad thing to do.
Some would say that it's better to walk a line of creating an insecurity or creating a sense of desperation for your woman to keep her in check. What would you say to that?
You're walking a very fine line on toxicity. That's what you're doing. Like a very fine line.
Let me rephrase this.
No, I know what you're saying.
What if your woman knows that you have more access to the opposite sex than she does?
I don't think it's. I think the better argument, because I think both of those were like, if we just clip those, like this guy is misogynist. He doesn't like women.
Yeah. Everything I say is that.
I remember hearing an interesting version of what you just said, and it was, I was dating somebody a few months ago, and she was telling me about one of her coworkers who had just gone on a date with a guy, or like they just started seeing a guy.
Yeah.
And her
I'm all ears. I'm just trying to look.
Yeah. Her friend told her something, and she's like, I don't know. It's like weird because like I like this guy that I'm seeing, but it's weird because like it almost seems like nobody else wants him. So like it almost makes me want him less.
Yeah.
So then they talked it out, like the girl that I was dating and her friend or whatever, and they came to the conclusion that if their guy wasn't wanted by anybody, it's almost like he was like a dork or like a dweeb. And that was unattractive in itself. So it's a very fine line between making yourself a person that is wanted and attracted by other people versus actually doing those things. So it's there's a difference between being wanted by other people and the person that you're with recognizes that, so they know that you're somebody that not only they desire because they're in love with you, but that other people as well desire, so that it almost gives them reassurance that you are someone that they want to be with. So that was an interesting thing that I heard. I remember where they're like, when that girl said that, she's like, it's almost like I don't even like him anymore, because why am I liking him if nobody else? You know what I mean? Why am I liking him if nobody else does? That was the conclusion that her friend came to.
How I see this is old advice my mom gave me when I was like 5. She said, if your woman doesn't think other women want you,
yes,
it means that you are a man of less value. And if your woman knows that other women want you, you're a very high value man. Right? But it was phrased in a metaphor, which was
Yes.
much better.
Yeah.
But generally, I want to end this off with, yeah, you don't want to make your woman insecure or your partner insecure.
Yes.
But at the same time, you don't want them to think that they have all access at the same time.
It's a weird.
So
yeah.
I like to walk this fine line where I make my girl jealous at the same time, right? Because I tend to be a very aggressive type of guy, right? So I don't enjoy that. Like I don't give a fuck who wants my woman. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't care less. It doesn't raise her value, right? But for girls, it does. That's the thing. It's like that's what they enjoy. You got any last words, man? Got any good quotes for the new year?
Good quotes. Starting off the new year.
No tits, all dicks. Let's go.
That's a mid quote, bro.
What you got? I got a good one.
You got a good one?
I got a decent one.
Send me a good one.
No. You tell me what you
What
got.
you just chat GPT it?
No.
Good quote to end the year, to start
No,
off
no.
the year.
You started on that chat.
yeah, I fucked that up. Never look back. This is one that I heard a while back, a while ago. Never look back on what you've had, because you'll never be focused on what's ahead.
Very good. Very good. I got one. It's war is when government tells you who your enemy is. Revolution is when you find out who your real enemy is.
I've heard that one.
Decent.
That's a good one.
Decent. All right, we're out.
Peace.
When I was 16, I won a great victory. I felt in that moment I would live to be 100. Now I know I shall not see 30. None of us know our end, really.